Okay, recording.
And then as soon as you say that, there he's back. He looks deader than all of us. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. We look like we're on vacation together during the preseason. That's what we're trying to bring across. We went skiing in the summertime. That's what we do. We also look like somebody mentioned, I forgot who said it, the ghost version of ourselves. Neil definitely doesn't look alive. Like, he's definitely coming to us from a spirit world during this podcast. But hey, man, that's how much he likes the podcast. He's pretending to be alive to do this shit. So we appreciate that. We got Neil. We got Lee. What's up, Hudson, Southampton? And we got the talking still photo of Martin Harris. It's not moving, but Martin's voice is there.
I'm here.
And this is his best picture, by the way. So, like, hey, you don't.
One of them.
If this is his best picture, you don't want to see the real him. So
is that his Tinder profile picture?
Not on Tinder anymore. Don't make all those soccer comic female fans hope. Not on Tinder. No.
They got to find you on They got to find you on Raya instead.
Lee looks like he's taking that Red Bull from behind Neil's back. But hey, y'all, we're back. It's a Soccer Comic Rant, and we're back. We're on All Things Comedy. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're everywhere. And, and if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment after the video or during the video. And we're here, man. And it's preseason. And I guess we'll go to Neil first because he went to Vegas to see Chelsea play Club America. How was that whole experience? Like, just going to the game, getting drunk, and hanging out with America's fans and Chelsea fans. How was that?
That was great. I think like the background seems a little insensitive considering all the heat wave that's been going around. People wondering about the planet dying, and we're going with a skiing backdrop. All right.
My team's in Austria right now, so this is perfect.
Yeah, my team is my team's in Melbourne, and it's cold. It's wintertime in Melbourne.
I think the aim is like no matter where any of our teams are, we're soon reaching a point where the temperature is going to be the same everywhere. So it's going to be fine. So there's not going to be like a winter break or summer break.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas was great. It was hot. Very hard, and especially considering I had to like walk 30 minutes back from the stadium to the hotel since I couldn't get an Uber. But it was like, they arranged so many things. Like even the day before, I had signed up to go watch the open training, and there's this pub.
Did you have to pay for that?
No.
Or you could just go if you have a ticket.
But you had to register still, because they sold out. They didn't have the whole stadium. They had like one entire end.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was fun, and they had like this, Chelsea in America group. They did a whole bunch of events around the game. They had this pub on the Mandalay Bay, which is just right across from the Allegiant Stadium where the game happened. And they had like, I think 5 or 6 hours every day. There were events going on. I won a couple of prizes in Chelsea trivia.
Of course you did.
got a cool T-shirt which says Chaos and Trophies Chelsea FC. And got $100 gift card too, which I need to follow up on.
Oh, let's spend that. Let's just throw that in the kitty with all the bet money that Lee won for us, that he's holding for us, that he doesn't think he's holding for us. Yeah,
I think we're at -50 on that.
I think you overestimate my betting ability.
So that is. And how was the game? Like, who stood out for you? And I watched it today. Like, I've seen the highlights, but I watched it today. I got to watch it. I realized that ESPN has some preseason games. Also, CBS has some preseason games. They have all the Spurs games. So, Martin, I don't know if you know that, but I've been checking out the Spurs.
Oh, nice.
So If you have, if you have that CBS, you can check out the Spurs preseason game. But who stood out for you?
I think the first interesting thing about the game was we lined up in the same formation as the last couple of seasons in a back three, whereas there was a lot of talk, with the signings we've made and the signings that we're targeting, that we're going to move to back four, but we actually came back exactly where we left off last season in the back three. And Chilwell was making, his first start in ages. So he played. He looked decent. We had a couple of new guys. Conor Gallagher, I think he was the guy who stood out the most because he's coming back from loan and he's playing in that deep 6 role where Kovacic or Kante usually play. And,
so like a holding?
Yeah, I mean, I think he tries to go with two holding players there, but I think the second one has more of a freedom to go up and down, so not exactly holding both of them. And Gallagher was playing that the second guy role, which Kante or Kovacic does a lot, alongside Ross Barkley, incidentally. So I was a little surprised to see Ross Barkley start. What's even the point of doing that right now?
Right.
Like Kante can't travel though, can he? And
Kante
same
and
with Loftus-Cheek as well.
Could not
Why?
travel. The vaccination, because they're not vaccinated, so they couldn't enter the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Ross Barkley didn't look bad, but you don't like him so much you didn't even comment on that. He looks good.
I mean, it's a waste of a spot because he's not gonna be, and there's nothing to look forward to. So, you'd rather give those minutes to somebody like Billy Gilmore, who can maybe impress and get into the team. Like with Ross Barkley, we just know he's filling up a number. So, but what was interesting was that in the second half, Mason Mount came on. So I think they changed the entire 11 for the second half. And Mason Mount came on, and he actually played in the deeper 6, which is somewhere Tuchel has never used him. He's always been in the front three, but he used him more as in midfield. And he was great. He scored that goal, the winner, after Reece James and our third keeper, Marcus Bentinelli, had an amazing own goal. That's one of the, I think that'll go down as the best goal of the preseason tour.
I mean, I feel like that goal is on Reece James.
Yeah, it was on Reece James. He wasn't even looking.
Yeah, he no look back past your goalkeeper, who he thought would be standing in the middle of the goal.
Yeah.
The thing is, keepers are always told to move to the side of the goal because there's been those goals in the past where someone's played a back pass and it's hit a divot and it's bounced up and then gone over the keeper's foot. Whereas if the keeper moves, that doesn't happen. So keepers are always told to give an angle that's not in front of the goal in case the ball does go over their foot or something. And he did that. And yeah, Reece James he did it blind. He should have looked up. He just sort of did it and then looked.
Apparently nobody told Reece James that because he went straight center of the goal. Golf shot.
And the craziest thing was, so by the way, the club, the America fans, they are a passionate bunch, and I guess it's closer for them in terms of geographically to get their entire core support out. So they had their home end was full of drums and color all throughout the 90 minutes, and they gave Bentinelli after that own goal a very, very tough time. So anytime the ball came anywhere near him, the entire stadium was going crazy on him.
They gave who?
The keeper, Bentinelli,
Okay.
Marcus Bentinelli. So yeah, but it was a great atmosphere.
I love how the America fans cheered like they scored that goal.
Yeah.
And it's a mistake. But even in preseason, they were acting like we just scored a goal against Chelsea. They said, nah, it kind of was a complete accident. But all right.
It's actually a good game to have as your first pre-game because preseason, because they're in season in the Liga MX. So they were sharp and they played really physical.
No, they looked good. They looked good. I got to give them props. Yeah. America looked good for sure.
So it was fun. Open training was fun too because you got to see a little bit of how detailed everything was when they were laying out. Lee probably knows what I'm talking about. Like, how, like, there's so many things. Like, even these assistant coaches, they come out, they measure everything, and they are laying out cones, they're laying out tape, pieces of tape on the grass, and like the entire stadium is divided into 4 or 6 different stations of what they want the players to do. A lot of off the ball movements. So yeah, it was fun to see that.
How long was the training session for? Sorry. How long was the training session for?
I think the training session was for about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was you going to say, Lee? Sorry.
I say, like, for open sessions, they tend to break them down into those small groups and do like a little circuit thing almost, because they don't want to give away, like, they're not going to do like a tactical session, an open training session. They tend to do those sort of smaller, shorter, sharper activities, just to give people like a sort of window into what they do, but they're not going to give away anything like tactically.
By now, doesn't everybody know what everybody does?
Yeah, but some teams might be training like their plan B or something new for the new season that they might not want to give away. Like Chelsea starting with this formation in their first games might not mean they start the season with it.
Might be a complete lie.
And also the new signings do not play, so they didn't even feature. So, so I think Sterling's still training. So
what's the point?
I was trying to go catch to
What's the point of Raheem Sterling putting on the Chelsea jersey in front of the Troubadour on Santa Monica Boulevard if he's not playing? Like, what's the whole point of that?
Well, they got Koulibaly in front of the Bellagio too, which I was really disappointed with, because as staying right across from the fountains, I'm like, oh, if only I knew, because I tried to catch him at the airport too. I missed that because I got too drunk and I wasn't, I missed when I had to like leave for the airport, because I got one of the Chelsea journalists to let me on when he's arriving, what flight he's arriving at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and me and a few folks, we plan to go down to the airport. It's just so close to the strip, right? But got too drunk speaking to some old-timers Chelsea fans who always are so amazed with the fact that some of these American fans know something about what happened in the past. So yeah.
It took me 5 years of like talking football to Lloyd in England for him to stop saying, "How do you know this?" He's like, "How do you know this?" He's like,
"Yeah."
It's like, we know. We know. We got everything you got. We got more than you got.
Yeah. So no, it was good. Like it's good to be in that scenario when, especially Koulibaly got announced while we were at the pub packed with Chelsea fans, and
that's good.
There were huge roars went out, and the entire strip actually had, like, you couldn't in those 2 days, no matter whether it was during the time of the game, before and after or not, you couldn't like go anywhere and lay your eyes on a frame without seeing a couple of Chelsea jerseys. Anyway, it's almost like fans just decided we're just going to wear our gear throughout the weekend.
Did that feel good to be in a gang?
Yeah. That felt good. You look at you walk down and you look at people and like, all right, yeah. I saw a Juan Cuadrado jersey, which I think is probably the only Cuadrado jersey ever sold, because he was with us for like a couple of months.
Disrespectful. That is bad disrespectful, homie. He played for Chelsea?
Yeah, see, exactly my point.
Where was the game? Was it at the Raiders Stadium?
Yeah, it was at the Raiders Stadium. And I did the stupid thing. I went to the pub, which is very close to the stadium, so I could walk. And I took this big bag full of jerseys. Like, I had 6 jerseys and a Tuchel book, because I thought I'd be able to get everything signatured. And but then I reached there and somebody told me, no, they only allow you to get take clear bags in. So then I had to go buy a clear bag, put everything into that. And I was like literally lugging a whole piece of luggage for no reason, because I got nowhere near taking anybody's autograph.
You are a true fan, fam. That's all I got to say. Martin, have you gotten any chance to check out any of Martin's photo. Have you got any chances to check out any of Spurs' preseason? And what do you think about your buys?
Yeah, not too much in terms of what they played. I saw that Lucas Moura was tried as a right back, which is a very interesting choice.
So they're Moses in him? Are they Moses in him?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. You know, Moses, by the way, he finished I think in the Russian league last year, so it didn't work out for him long term. But I think it's interesting that after we bought Richarlison, now there's a plenty of talent on the wings, so we could potentially try to use the fact that we have too many attacking wingers to put some shift on defense, because that was kind of a little bit of a missing piece. And that's
it's not fully defense, though, is it? Because it's a wing back role rather than a fully on defender.
But you have to help. You know, you have to be able to help. And I think Lucas can run a lot, so he can help potentially. He's got that. So I'm interested to see that. I like that. I like that idea, and I like the buys too. I think the buys are good. You know, the question now is how much it makes us better in comparing to other teams. And I feel like definitely top 4, we can still do that again. We can do again top 4. Are we going to be better than Man City? Probably not. Let's see what happens. I mean, he'll have his first preseason with the Spurs, so he will be able.
You broke up. Could you say that again? He will have his what?
His first full preseason with the Spurs. So let's see what he can do with the team. On his first full season.
All right. See what's up with that. Hopefully they do terrible.
But I like the buys. I feel like it's good. It's not a revolution, it's an evolution,
Name your buys again, because I'm looking them up at the Premier League site.
So it's Richarlison, it's Bissouma, right?
Yeah, I'm jealous of that buy.
And those were like one more at the very beginning. Oh, Fraser Forster, right?
And Perisic as well.
And Perisic, yeah. And Kulusevski will have the full season, so that's another good.
And what about who else did you get from Juventus last year?
Betancourt.
And he's still with you on loan?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the only guy that we let go, we let someone go. Let me think. Who did we let go?
I see that Ndombele is still there. I saw like some training videos.
No, he's training on his own or something, right?
Yeah. It's Ndombele, Lo Celso, Winks, and I think one more are training with the Reguilón training with the 23s.
Yeah. What are they trying to sell him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lo Celso is going to go back to Villarreal permanently. We're linked with Harry Winks at the moment.
Did Spurs buy Lo Celso, or was he on loan too?
We did. We did. It was kind of quite expensive buy, but at the time he was I think first team player for Argentina, and he had good numbers prior to coming to the Spurs. Although I never felt like he is that much of a acquisition. I never thought that he's gonna make a difference. Like for example, Moussa Dembele did in the first run with Pochettino. Like he really the guy that we needed, and we never replaced him. So Bissouma could be that player now. Because Højbjerg is more defensive minded, right? Where Bissouma could be half a half, like Dembele used to be. Dembele was perfect in that role because he could attack, he could pass, he could defend. He was a very versatile, very underrated player, and we never replaced him.
He was everything until he left for China.
Yeah. He first started getting injuries. Like that really kind of made it. That kind of made his stint with us shorter, because he just wasn't reliable anymore because of injuries.
And then Lee, I saw you guys played Leipzig.
Yeah, we decided to play our first preseason game against Red Bull Leipzig because they're training we're in Austria at the moment, and so are they. Obviously, Hasnell has the link up as well. We played. It was a real preseason game, but there's not much to read into the scoreline because we put a team out in the first half, and it was 0-0 at half time, and then we changed the whole 11.
I just want to comment. Like I saw the team you put out in the first half. Like I watched the first half of it because again, I don't know why, but it was on. I just realized that there's games on ESPN Plus, and they put it on demand, so I could have watched it live if I knew it was on. But you put the first half was an all-black team. I was like, where did Southampton get all these black players from? I was like, there's dudes with dreads. I didn't know. All you had before was like Walker Peters. Then there's like there's like a midfielder with dreads. It's like a left back with dreads. There's Salisu.
Yeah, there's Romeo Lavia, who's the 18-year-old centre midfielder we signed from Man City, the Belgian youth international. There's Bela Kotchap, the centre back we signed from Bochum in Germany. Bazunu, the goalkeeper from Man City.
Yeah, the goalkeeper was black.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what the. I just, it's just not the race I'm used to seeing in Southampton colors. Like Southampton is just like last year, Salisu, all I can remember is Walker Peters. That's it.
Gineppo, Diallo in centre midfield as well. Diallo played quite a few games.
Yeah, and Gineppo didn't play that much last season. But he played in the first half of this game. I definitely saw it.
Nathan Redmond's, I think he's got one black parent, one white parent. Same with Shea Adams as well.
Yeah, Shea Adams.
So yeah, but we definitely got more diverse this summer. But they're, you know, it's all I care about is that they're good players.
So the first half was 0-0, and I didn't see the second half. So what happened?
Yeah, we changed the whole team at half time. We went 1-0 down. Then Adam Armstrong equalised for us. And then we ended up losing 3-1, but we made a bunch more changes in the second half as well. And they played like an extra 15 minutes at the end of the game.
Did they?
Just because both teams had massive squads. So they played like a little 15-minute extra time just to get more people game time.
Shit. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can do what you want in preseason games. You can have a penalty shootout at the end if you want. It's yeah. But we played.
You can also win another trophy too. So I guess you can do everything you want.
We played another game this evening against a team from the Austrian Bundesliga, a team that finished 6th last year in Austria, called Klagenfurt, who Hasenhüttl's son plays for.
Oh, shit.
But we did the same there. We put 2 teams out, one in each half. We drew 0-0 in that game, which I think just shows that we lack a bit of firepower this season. But we hit the bar twice, so who knows? But it's early still, so we'll see what happens.
Is Armstrong still on your team or not?
Yeah, the only person who's gone is Broja from the front line.
So now the Armstrong will be the behind Che, right? The second striker.
We played with 2. We played with 2 out and out number 9s. But Armstrong scored against Leipzig, so he's he'll be getting more games. But I still think we need to sign one more striker because we play with 2 up front. We can't really afford to only have 2 strikers in the squad. We have we signed Joe Aribo from Rangers, who can play as a sort of second number 9, or he can play as a wide player, attacking midfielder. He scored in the Europa League final against Frankfurt, so he's a good player who we got quite cheap as well. So hopefully he can get some goals from midfield, but we still need to sign one more forward, I think, because Shane Long's gone as well. He went back to Reading. So yeah, we're lacking options. We literally got Shea Adams and Adam Armstrong, and Nathan Teller, who's really a winger, can play there as well. But yeah, we could do with a proper number 9.
But can you tell
Broja's going to West Ham?
Yeah, but can you tell that you're disappointed a little bit with Armstrong, or you think he can have a better season this season?
He can have a better season. He showed in games like he scored a great goal against Aston Villa at home last season. He scored against Watford, I think, as well. Like he showed some sort of spells where he was good. He scored against Everton on his debut with a good goal. So he can do it. It's just, can he do it consistently? And can he do what Hasenhüttl requires him to do without the ball as well? Because that's a big thing. So I think he probably would have played more last season if Broja hadn't done so well. But this season, he's got a chance to deliver. So see what he does. But we still, I think, need one more option there.
All right. I guess I'll talk a little bit about Man United. As you know, we won the Bangkok Cup, slamming Liverpool 4-0. So obviously
Fred looking like Zidane.
I mean, hey man, you said it. I did. like I just also watched like us play, what's it called, the Melbourne, forgot their last victory, right? So I finally like accessed the full match of that, and I watched that before this. And Fred was doing something now because of the training that he's getting now that I felt like he was good at, like whenever he chose to do it in a regular game before Ten Hag was coach. And it was just one touch, Fred, just one touch. Like just one touch, play it simple, keep it moving, which is what the team is basically doing. We got this Ten Hag system where the fullbacks push up and the forwards switch with each other, and Jadon Sancho's on the right side, which is his strongest side, instead of being on the left, because there's no Greenwood to push him over there, and we're short as far as like experienced forwards. So like he's playing to his strengths. So most of our stuff is going down the right side between Delo and shit, I forgot his name. I was just talking about it.
Sancho.
And Sancho, yeah. And so I can listen. We're doing fine. Like I watched some training videos. There's more intensity, which is like a cliche word to use, but I think it is the difference sometimes between like training and training. Like when you watch the Michael Jordan, the Last Dance, it was how they trained, and it was about you train like you're playing a game. You make the training harder than the game so that during the game it's easy. I think Pep has that philosophy, and I think Ten Hag has brought that philosophy to our team. Now we're trying to do we brought in 3 players, Tyrell Malacius, I think I'm messing his name up, so my bad, Tyrell. And we got Ericsson, which I don't know where he's at, but we got him. He's somewhere, I don't know if he's like, but we got him, but he's not with us yet. I don't like that.
He's crying over the fact that we didn't want him.
Oh yeah, as I can remember, he demanded to leave you guys and refused to ever play for you. So
no, he wanted to play back, but listen, like it's.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
no, he didn't. No, he demanded to be out. Like I remember Poch trying to get him to stay. Don't try to rewrite history.
No. Mourinho let him go. Mourinho let him go, I think.
Yeah, but he wanted out before Mourinho got there.
Yeah,
and
but
the fact
then,
that you got a new coach did not even change his
mind.
But
then they wanted to go back. Listen, I wish him well. He did a very good shift for us. So I wish him very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got him, and we finally got Lisandro Martinez, who could play center back or CDM. So we'll see what happens. We beat the Melbourne Victory tomorrow morning. I guess 3 a.m. I got to get up in the morning to watch us play Crystal Palace. I heard Crystal Palace doesn't have like most of their starters there. I don't know why. That doesn't make
Palace
any sense.
There's a large portion of the Palace squad who are unvaccinated, so they're doing 2 pre-seasons. So all the players who can't travel are staying in England, I think, and they're playing games here. And then I think only 10 first-team players went to Australia, and the rest of it's reserve players and youth team players. So it's kind of disjointed for them. I don't know why you would choose to travel to a country where a lot of your players can't travel to. It feels like it's counterproductive for sort of squad cohesiveness. Be interesting to see if that causes them any issues at the start of the season at all, because they obviously have got a little bit weaker with Conor Gallagher leaving, and their strikers sort of stopped scoring towards the end of the season. So it'd be interesting to see how things go for them, because I think they overachieved under Vieira last season.
I mean, they beat us, I think, the last game of the season, but we were Ronaldo less, and our team was just in complete disarray by then. We being coached by a coach that nobody wanted to be coached by, so that was tough on our coach. But yeah, so I'm still going to check out the game tomorrow and see how we do. But it's good to win in preseason. It just helps to make you believe that the coach is doing his job, and you could see like the early signs of a system being established. So that's kind of beautiful to see, and I want to hope to see it evolve into us even being more. And then, there's one thing that I had a discussion with you guys before about like Fred and McTominay. Like you're like, would they do better? You guys said, would a better coach get more out of them? And I agreed with you. And let's see. Even though we should not just solely rely on them, we need to get this De Jong situation, which I'm fed up with. Like I have a thing that I just want to say to Frankie De Jong. And it's like, listen, Frankie, you don't have to come to Manchester United, but I suggest you get out of Barcelona. You cannot trust an organization that owes you money because you deferred money to them because of COVID. And then they try to sell you so that they won't have to pay you that money. And then when they threaten to sell you, they'll be like, all right, you can stay, but you can only stay if you take a pay cut. So I know Manchester United is not in Champions League, but if you take a pay cut to stay with Barcelona, you will be paying to stay and play in Champions League for Barcelona. And like Man United pays all their players. Like Juan Mata barely kicked the ball last year and he got all his checks. Marshall got all his checks. Eric Bailly got all his checks. One thing we do is pay people who play or don't play for us. So, hey man, I'm not saying you got to come to us, but if you do, we'll pay you. Like you paid 47 games for Barcelona last year, and they want to pay you less and make you play more. So, hey, and also if you do take the pay cut, after you take the pay cut, say you agree to this pay cut. After you agree to this pay cut, the way Barcelona is as an organization, they'll be like, all right, cool. Now we're going to sell you. And then you're screwed. You took a pay cut and they can sell you because you have this new contract that denies you the money that they owed you before you signed a new contract. So I just wouldn't trust an organization that messed up with Messi, the greatest player in the world. Like, how do you mess up like that? Like, this is a financially irresponsible organization. They just sold 25% of their TV rights for the next 25 years. You know how much money that is? They're giving up in the future to fix problems that they have now. Even Real Madrid got their financial shit together so that they could like rejuvenate their team. And like, what is Barcelona? Like, listen, man, this organization is done within the next 5 years. So I wouldn't fight to stay with them. That's just
I mean, we had this conversation this morning on the phone, and I partially agree with you. First of all, I'm another Barcelona fan. You know, there are a lot of Barcelona fans very happy right now. I'm not a Barcelona fan, but I'm trying to look objectively. And what they're trying to do, pretty much, they are betting on winning a lot in the next couple of years. You know, so they try to rejuvenate like the euphoria. You know, because Barcelona is worldwide known for playing beautiful football, for playing attractive football, for being exciting, for being, you know, like being the essence of football. That's what they're known for. And because of Xavi involvement, I think they're seeing a chance of rejuvenating that by bringing the best striker in the world in Lewandowski, who, in my opinion, will succeed there. I think it's a perfect situation for him because he's a goal scorer and they needed a goal scorer, and now they will have a goal scorer. Depay, I think, scored 12 goals last season. He was the best scorer for them. So obviously Lewandowski will score at least twice as much.
But he got injured a little bit. So
no. But what I'm trying to say, they didn't have a striker. They didn't have a guy like Lewandowski. Now they will have a guy like that.
They had Aubameyang. They got Ferran Torres.
But Aubameyang,
they got Braithwaite.
No, but so what?
They got the other De Jong. What's the other De Jong?
Well, like I told you, the best
gone.
The best scorer was 12.
Yeah.
The best scorer scored 12 goals, and Lewandowski will score 30 goals by himself for sure. You know, because that's what he always does every single year since he went to Borussia Dortmund in 2010. So
he's going to get good service there as well from Dembele, from Gavi, from
so they will definitely challenge for the title. It will be more exciting battle for the title in Spain, and the Grand Derby will be exciting again. And they will go far in the Champions League most likely. at least quarterfinals.
You're Barcelona and you're going so hard for a 34-year-old. I know it's Lewandowski.
Yeah, but he's
legendary.
in tip-top
I know he's a great
shape.
scorer. But I've just never seen.
He's in good shape.
I've never seen a Barca like a. You know, bodies are funny, man. Like, you know, I hope Lewandowski does have a good season. I like him. I have nothing against him, but bodies are funny. And there's a certain point, no matter how much shape you're in, your body's like, hey, man, we in our 30s.
Yeah, but first of all, he doesn't drink any alcohol. Second of all, his wife is a fitness guru, like a fitness guru. So he was always a specimen, man, like just like Cristiano Ronaldo. And Cristiano Ronaldo is 37 and he's still going strong. So he signed a contract for 3 years with Barcelona. I'm sure.
The only thing Cristiano Ronaldo is going strong is striking really strong. Like, and I don't mean on the field, like refusing to go to training. Like I hear there's some real personal reasons. So I'm sorry about that. But the only thing he's doing like with confidence is like, hey, I don't want to play for you guys.
But
the rumor today is that he might be going to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, wow. I heard that.
So, but he's 37 and Lewandowski is 34. So let's split the difference. So next 3 years he can still be fantastic, and I think he will be. And I think Barcelona will challenge for the title. And if they win the title, I mean, the mission is successful. Plus, they still have all those young players like Pedri. And I mean,
Rafinha's a good signing as well.
Yeah, I mean,
so make sense of the Rafinha signing to me. Like, so you have Dembele, he's going to sign. Did he take less money or something like that and he's supposed to sign? So, listen, Rafinha's a good player. But what are they taking Rafinha as a safeguard for when Dembele gets injured? Because Dembele gets injured a decent amount of times. Is that what that is?
I think it's just to give them another option because they're trying to fight for Champions League and La Liga next season. They need options. I think they may have overdone it. It'd be interesting to see who plays, especially in the big games, because that front line, you've got Lewandowski, Aubameyang, Torres, Dembele, Rafinha. It's a lot of players to try and squeeze into three positions because they're almost certainly going to be 4-3-3 under Xavi still. So,
yeah, I'm going to read off all their forwards. Aubameyang, Braithwaite, Dembele, Memphis Depay, like
wing.
Who
Depay's being rumored to go to Spurs.
You know what? I think we should get him back. Like, how much could he possibly go for?
12 million, apparently.
We should take him. That's a deal. And he's good. He's good, Martin, but he's kind of like too laid back.
I think we have better wingers than him, right now.
He wouldn't be a winger, he'd be central.
So
it's a weird too, because he almost plays like a midfield style of football too. So,
But he'd fit in that system because with Spurs it's like a 3-4-3.
Yeah.
So he'd be one of the front three, the same way Richarlison and Son, and I think Richarlison, Son, and Kane will be like the first choice three, or Kulusevski as well.
And Kulusevski was very good for us. Very good.
Say that again, Lee. Who will be one?
So the system they play, the three forwards at the moment, it will be three from Kane, Son, Kulusevski, and Richarlison. So they might want to add a fifth option in there. They obviously Mora can play there as well. Perisic could play there, even though he plays as a wide player. So they already have options. I don't know if they need him, but
no, I don't think we do. Actually, I don't think we do.
Yeah,
we need to have one more defender potentially, but that's it.
Yeah, you can discount Braithwaite from the Barca list. He ain't going to see a single minute this season.
I know.
Also,
they have this kid called Abdi who is pretty good. Like, he just needs a little bit more time, but like he can.
Ansu Fati's in that list as well.
Ansu Fati's on that list. Ferran Torres, Elias. Am I saying that right? Or Elias? I'm saying that right. Robert Lewandowski and Rafinha. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
For three positions.
It's kind of funny because Aubameyang and I saw, because I was watching the Instagram account for Barcelona, I saw that Lewandowski spoke with Aubameyang quite a bit on the sides. They had like a long conversation. It's interesting that almost a decade ago, when Lewandowski went to Bayern Munich,
to
Bayern Munich from Dortmund. So Aubameyang, I think, was his sub, And then after Lewandowski left and went to Bayern Munich, I think he became a star at Borussia Dortmund and he built his value. And now Lewandowski is coming to Barcelona to take his spot. So it's kind of interesting that he was always number 2, kind of like a captain and a soldier relationship, master and servant almost, between Lewandowski and Aubameyang. No. But I'm saying, in terms of father figure and how you call it, father figure, and
he's only like 2 years older, 3 years older than him.
Yeah, but he was always like a little bit ahead of it,
Yeah, but Aubameyang can play wide as well, so he's got other uses.
Let me say something. I'm not asking you if Everton's going to be relegated. Like, when are they going to be relegated? Because this is ridiculous. They got one guy in. They lost Richarlison, and they got a guy from a team. Yeah, and that he's from Burnley, right?
Yeah, it was that captain, Burnley, I think. Right. After when me moved to the coaching.
Right. So it's like they have people out, but it's nobody of substance really. But except Richarlison, like, how can a team that I think Richarlison was their leading scorer last year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Calvert-Lewin was the season before, and then he didn't do much last season because he was injured a lot.
Yeah. But I'm really worried about them in a not worried way. But it's just, I don't know, man. Good luck to them. It's not looking great over there.
Hey, it could be a tough season for us. So the more other teams that are looking bad, the better.
True. How many people did you get in? I don't even see you here on this Premier League thing. I don't see Spurs on this thing either.
We've got quite a few in. We signed 2 goalkeepers. So we signed Bazunu from Man City. He was on loan at Portsmouth last season. He's Republic of Ireland's #1 goalkeeper. Saved a penalty from Ronaldo in an international match. But he made a great save against Leipzig in the first half. He looks a good player. He's quite young though, but I think he's got a chance of being the starting keeper. We signed Mateus Lis from a club in Turkey, Polish goalkeeper, but I think he might get loaned out because I think McCarthy and Bazunu will be the first 2. We signed Bela Kotchap from Bochum, the defender, played Bundesliga last year. I think he's young, but he looks strong. We signed Joe Aribo from Rangers, who I spoke about earlier as well. He looks good.
Are these starters or squad people?
Yeah, they'll be starters, I think, or they got the potential to be. Romeo Lavia, the centre midfielder from Man City, he looks good as well. So I think we're in a fairly good place. There's some players who need to be sold. We've been playing Gineppo as a wing back in these friendlies because we've been playing with a back 3, which I don't know if we'll start the season with that.
I like that for Gineppo because he panics but he panics in the final third, so it's better if he stays somewhere where he's comfortable. I think he'll be more comfortable with the ball back there. Some people are,
but rumor is we're trying to sell him. So
yeah, you should try to sell him, but if you don't, put him in the back.
Yeah,
but some people in front of goal is their kryptonite.
Yeah, but he was signed to play there, so as a forward. So we'll see what happens. But we still need to sign a number 9. I think. Like I say, it's a shame that Broja looks like he's going to go to West Ham, but I don't blame him. They're in a better position than we are right now. It's a shame that Neil won't get to see another Cobham guy make the breakthrough at Chelsea, but it's the way it is.
Are you guys worried about Man City and what they've done?
What's there to worry about? They're far up and ahead anyway. So what's to worry?
That they're getting further away.
Yeah, but I guess I thought about it actually, and it's funny that you asked Neil because Haaland, everybody says that he's gonna be great, and listen, he's got all the ingredients to be great and score a lot of goals. He's got all the ingredients to be one of the best players in the league. But kind of, like the entire hype around it. There are also tons of expectations. So the whole hype around Haaland kind of reminds me of when Fernando Torres went to Chelsea and everybody was like, "Oh, that's a wrap." Now, Chelsea and Torres, that's like match in heaven. He'll be by far like score 30 plus goals every season. He'll be fantastic.
Torres was never the same player. Torres was never the same player after he had an ACL towards the end of Liverpool before he went to Chelsea. Chelsea made a mistake signing him when they did, I think, because he was, like I say, he wasn't the same after that. Whereas Haaland, they're like, Chelsea didn't sign peak Torres. They signed Torres as he was starting to slide down. Whereas Haaland, I think they're signing at his very peak. He's physically in great shape. He can score all kind of goals. I can't see him being anything other than a success there. The amount of goals that are just going to get put on a plate for him as well.
Yeah. And Martin, Haaland will accidentally score 15 goals this season on top of the goals he's going to score on purpose.
I would score 15 playing as the number 9 for Man City this season. That's how. Like, you just need to be in the box, and there'll be enough cutbacks that you can just tap in.
Yeah.
Well, the cutback guy, we've taken that cutback guy though.
So what?
Like the guy who usually provides a lot of those cutbacks has moved to us. So
hey, they've still got a whole bunch of players like that. Would just be Grealish doing that instead now.
He wasn't.
They've got the guy from River Plate as well.
He wasn't that great last season, still. But
who is? Yeah, they have
still the second most prolific forward.
They got Grealish to cut back, and they got Foden on the left who can.
Foden, Mahrez.
Well, De Bruyne can do anything, everything and everything. Yeah. And it's interesting that this transfer is the last work from Mino Raiola. Before he passed, that's his last big transfer. He did a bunch of those. That was his last big transfer.
I find it a little interesting how both Klopp and Pep have moved to signing, conventional. I mean, of course, everybody is a little bit of a hybrid nowadays in the modern era, but like conventional number 9s, after having a lot of success without actually playing with a real number 9 for a while. So, and they're both like doing like for like now.
What do you think Sergio Aguero was?
Yeah, but Sergio, when last have we seen him being used a lot at Man City? It's been a couple of years now. So,
no, he didn't. Well, he didn't play this season at all because he was gone, and the season before he was injured a lot. But the last seasons he played, I don't know if he falls.
And the season before that, City didn't win. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's been a while since they actually, and they've been successful in an era without actually using.
But that's not the question you asked if they won. You were just talking about having conventional 9s compared to.
But like having success without having conventional 9. But now they're kind of like both at the same time decided to move away from that.
Well, though interestingly, last season, like for City to finish strongly, they had to play Jesus as a 9 every game. Like he really like found his form at the back end of last season where he was playing every game as a number 9. So that'll be interesting. He scored a great goal, a really good finish for Arsenal against Everton the other day as well. That corner that came in, he just took it down with one touch and then lashed it in. I think he's going to do well for Arsenal. I think he's going to score a few North London derby goals, hopefully. But Man City though, they've lost 3, well not lost, but they've got rid of 3 players, which is the key players, which is Sterling, Fernandinho, and Jesus, and then they've replaced them with Haaland, Phillips, and Alvarez. So I think 2 of those are an upgrade. Alvarez for Sterling, you don't know because he's potential rather than finished product, but Haaland's an upgrade on Jesus, and Phillips for me is an upgrade on Fernandinho. I think physically, just because he's younger. Fernandinho was a great player, but his legs were done.
Shit, Haaland might be an improvement on Sergio Aguero in his prime. I think he'll do well. I think he'll do well because the price tag is so low for such a player. Like they can't even, like I said this before, they can't even complain. We paid 60 mil for you. It's like that's nothing.
Well, I think with Haaland, like the entire overall package is a lot. Like his agent fees, his father's driver's fees.
It's still only 100.
Still, that's less than what United paid for Maguire, right?
Yeah, but the salary, you account for all of that. I think with Haaland,
nobody yells when you're playing bad. The amount of money that they paid your dad. Nobody yells that at the player. Like that'd be unprecedented. Nobody yells your agent fee when you're playing bad.
No,
they yell the amount of money that you pay.
His salary is, I think it's unprecedented in England, at least for somebody that young to get that to get that salary. So they are banking on him being the next Ballon d'Or level player, and he might well be. Like he's on that trajectory, right? But
he's kind of Drogba-like, right? The way he's built, strong and finishing.
He can score every type of goal. He's quick enough to run behind. He's big enough to hold up play. Yeah.
Look at Neil hoping it fails. It's not going to happen, bro. He's going to do great.
No, I know he's going to go do great. That's why I wanted him last summer when we eventually got,
But now you don't have him. You're casting doubts.
Now I want everybody to break his legs. I want specific training drills that focus on his legs, which are a little bit of a problem. By the way, we spoke. Martin brought up Fernando Torres. Now Haaland doesn't have any career-defining injuries so far, but he has a lot of these small injuries. Like his injury record is not normal for somebody his age.
If you wanted to break his legs, you should have kept Rudiger.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, you broke your defense.
Maybe Koulibaly can do something.
Interesting that we talk about. We talk about the transfer fees. You know who the most expensive transfer was this summer? Everywhere, like not just Premier League, like for all of the world at the moment.
Nunes.
Tchouaméni.
Tchouaméni. Oh yeah, you're right. 100 million, right? Euros.
100 million euros to Real Madrid from Monaco.
He was somebody apparently we wanted to get last summer for 40 million, and somebody at the club said, nah, he needs another season to progress, so we'll get Saul on the loan.
PSG were after him as well.
Tchouaméni will probably be good, but he'll probably never live up to 100 million. That's going to be a problem. Real Madrid fans and Barcelona fans are on another level of they don't appreciate some of their best players. Like for him to live up to that 100 mil, he'd have to score almost as many goals as Ronaldo, and it's not even his position, and they know it, but they won't even care.
He's 22 though, so they're buying a player for the next 10 years potentially. Him and Camavinga could be Real Madrid centre midfield for a decade
in 5 years they'll
if they perform well.
Yeah, 5 years they'll warm.
It's a good business potentially, but I'll tell you guys about one transfer nobody mentioned yet, and I think it's quietly one of the most important transfers, if not top 3 important transfer of the transfer window in Europe, which is Mane from Liverpool to Bayern, because it changes the leagues, in my opinion. I think he was a very underrated player. I think he's actually a fantastic player. I think he's better than what he's credited as a great player, but I think he's even greater than that. I think his impact on Liverpool's success was huge, and he will be sorely missed. I think Liverpool will not be the same without him, and I think he will fit perfectly with Bayern, and he'll do great.
Yeah, I mean, he kickstarted the Klopp era, so to speak. He was the first time who actually got them, took them a step above.
He was always a little bit in Salah's shadow, wasn't he? Salah took all the headlines a lot of the time, but Mane was the one scoring in Champions League finals, and he's a big game player as well. He always turned up in the big games for him.
And he was, I would say, doing more than Salah on the field, because I think he works more in general. Like Salah could be a little lazy at times. So they had a good, even if it didn't look like they liked each other very much. I felt like they had a good collaboration together. I think Salah will also miss him on the field a lot.
Yeah.
Because some of his flaws will be now exposed. Let's say if he plays with the other guy, what's his name from Porto?
Diaz.
That never passes the ball. Yeah, so you have 2 guys who never pass the ball now, and that will be a problem for Liverpool.
Yeah, Diaz is
interesting to see how Nunes does as well.
It's going to be super exciting because it's the Klopp's pretty much a lot of the success was based on that front 3, and now 2 of the 3. I mean, Firmino is still there, but he's probably going to be a squad player now. So he's probably going to be lining up with Luis, Nunes, and Salah, with Jota somewhere in there. So, and they have a couple of new attacking midfielders coming through. Harvey Elliott's back from injury. They got this guy from Fulham, Fabio Carvalho. Yeah.
How is that guy? Anybody know anything about that guy? I need to look him up.
Yeah, he's exciting. He's a very good player. I'm not sure he's ready to start at a club like Liverpool, but they'll get him up to speed. I think he'll be phased in slowly. He's young as well.
Again, like Klopp's putting his stock in some midfielders who have attacking element in him, which is not something you associate with the club 4-3-3. So there's a lot of exciting things like Man City and Liverpool. It might still be another title challenge between those two, but in very different ways. I see them like playing very different formations and systems from what we are generally used to seeing from those two. Like Alvarez and Haaland could be a tall front two at Man City. So I think there's a lot of new things to look forward to.
I think City's business has been better than Liverpool's personally, but I guess we'll see on the field.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else, because this podcast it's a preseason podcast. There's not really like real games to talk about, so it doesn't have to be long. Martin has to leave soon. Martin's photo has an appointment, has to leave soon anyway. So Man United, we have a preseason game tomorrow. So Martin, so I'm gonna stay up and try to watch that. Martin and me might try to go see Real Madrid versus Barcelona in Vegas this weekend. So yeah, we'll come back on the podcast and talk about that if we do that. Nice. And what other games we got coming up, Lee?
We've got a tough preseason. We're playing Monaco and Villarreal at home, which will both be tough games. We're playing Watford as well. So yeah, we got a few good games. So yeah, we'll see whether we do any more business between now and then. And
what do you guys need
in those games?
What is Southampton?
Forward, a number 9. We need number 9, another one. I think it's going to be.
Does Broja want to go to West Ham? Can you outbid them and try to get him from West Ham? It's not a done deal yet?
I think we could probably match the bid. I don't think we could outbid them. We might be able to match it, but I think for him, if he wants to stay in London, if he wants to play European football potentially, then they can offer him more than we can right now. It's only whether it depends how good his relationship with Hassan Hüttl was, how much he liked the area. But I think West Ham can offer more than we can right now in terms of the whole package.
Yeah, you already sound defeated. So with that attitude, he's going to West Ham. You have no faith that if you just like pushed up a little bit, that you could get it. What do you need, Neil, for Chelsea?
Well, we need a whole ton. I mean, it's difficult to say exactly what we need because getting so many mixed signals from how he's actually going to line up the season. But I think we need backups at both left back and right back, or left wing back and right wing back, because we saw last season.
Has Alonso gone now?
No, he's there. He played preseason.
Or is he still there?
He had a great second half, but you'll never hear that from Neil.
He actually came pretty close to where I was on the touchline.
Yeah, he's on the left side. Yeah,
but
and you didn't even acknowledge him as a human being, did you?
No, I mean I acknowledged him. I would have loved to get his signature too. I'd do it. But no, here because we saw last season what happened when Chilwell got injured, Reece James got injured. The thing is, like, we're so dependent on them, not just for their quality, but even their profile of play. So even if you get some backups who are not as good, because we can't get players as good as the starters, right? But at least you want players who offer a similar profile so that you don't completely have to change the way you play if there's an injury. So I think we need that. Other than that, I don't know what's happening with the whole striker situation. Lukaku is gone now. And Broja seems to be pushing for a move to West Ham because we're getting a decent, if price at like 30, 35 million is pretty tempting. And knowing the way this club has been run, I think we will bite. So it's not something
But do you know how your club is being run? You know how it's being run in the future, but these are new owners.
Yeah, true, but I feel like there's going to be a little bit of residual. That legacy is not going to be cut. I mean, we did make the changes like Lukaku being let go after one bad season nobody even trying to make it work was pretty new, new like in terms of cutting our losses. And then we offered Koulibaly, a 31-year-old, a 4-year contract, which is unheard of because Chelsea has had a policy.
That's why you lost Rudiger.
Because
he was 30 and you didn't want to offer him a long-term contract, right?
Yeah, we've had a policy for 10 years to not offer more than 1 year.
You could have kept Rudiger.
Well, we could have, but the sanctions happened, right? So we didn't have the new ownership. I think this is a policy, like the new ownership has come in and
to sign 30-something-year-olds. That's the new policy.
Well, to not have arbitrary lines like age decide what sort of contract you're going to give somebody. So if the manager is comfortable with giving a 31-year-old a 4-year contract, we're also in a post-Thiago Silva world. So I feel a lot more comfortable with offering some of these old guys contracts now after seeing what he's done.
Go ahead.
So in the striker position, Lukaku's gone. Broja seems to be going. Michy Batshuayi is Michy Batshuayi. Werner has not.
Even though he's still there.
He's still there. He played the second half.
He scored a winning goal. He scored a winning goal for Belgium against Poland in the Nations League.
He still keeps getting picked up for Belgium. So
he's a starting player for Belgium right now.
I mean, that's because Lukaku got injured, and it's him or the other guy from Crystal Palace, Benteke. So you're gonna go Batshuayi. But the funny thing about Batshuayi in that preseason game is that like Warner luck happens. Werner took a shot and Batshuayi blocked it on the open goal. But then Werner got the rebound and shot with his right foot and scored. But it's like that's Timo Werner and Batshuayi helping each other be each other.
Yeah, and then Michy missed an open goal too. Like, well, not exactly open goal, but it was a 1-on-1. And he just shot wide of the net, and the entire crowd went crazy. Like, you could literally hear guys out, Michy, what are you doing? And then Werner has never been trusted by Tuchel to play as a striker. So we're literally down to Kai Havertz, who is also not actually a number 9. So I don't know what's going to happen. Like, all the usual suspects in the transfer window have gone. So, or are super expensive and don't make sense. Like Victor Osimhen at Napoli for 80-90 million doesn't make any sense. So I really don't know what's going to happen with the striker position. And we might need another centre back or two. I think we need only one.
That will happen, I think. It'll be Kimpembe or Koundé.
Yeah, I hope we only get one and not two, because if we get two, that will mean Levi Coles are leaving, which I don't want to happen. I think he's super talented. He's somebody we should give every opportunity to be the next breakthroughs from the academy.
How many? What preseason games you got left?
We're playing Charlotte FC in Charlotte midweek.
And that's good for Charlotte.
Yeah, and then we play Arsenal in Orlando. And then I think we have a game against Udinese. This was a hastily arranged game at the end of the season, at the end of the preseason. Yeah, Udinese away, just the week before the Premier League begins. So.
Yeah, the season's going to start quick because it's starting early because of the World Cup, so that will come round.
The season begins in 2 weeks.
Doesn't Chelsea have like an early game for the Charity Shield? Who has the Charity Shield game? That's Liverpool and Man City?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. For FA Cup and all right. All right, guys. I think we could wrap this up.
I think we forgot about one thing, that so many players are coming to the MLS. We never addressed that, right?
Yeah, Bale is here. So
Bale and Chiellini here, Bernardeschi and Insigne in Toronto. Then you have your boy from MU, Lindgaard, going to DC.
First, then we got to talk about Rooney coaching DC. But is Lindgaard really going to DC?
Looks like it.
How does it look like it? Like, if he's going, and the season is being played right now, how come he's not playing in there? Like, where is Lingard?
I thought a club would have picked him up by now in the Premier League, but
it seems
maybe that's why he's looking at MLS now, because no one's actually made the move yet.
Seems a very non-Lingard kind of place to go to.
Yeah, I think he wants to go back to West Ham, and he hopes that he can sign with West Ham. And if he doesn't sign with West Ham, he'll go to DC.
I think they want him.
Yeah.
I think they want him. So I don't know why he's not like Preseason.
But now I'm seeing on the Athletic, Jesse Lingard considering offer from Saudi Arabia. So we'll see.
They offered Ronaldo something crazy, like 300 million a season or something, to go play there for 2 years.
That's what he gets for one Instagram post.
Hilarious. Yeah, Jesse Lingard, he's on the contract, he's out. Yeah, it's weird. Like, you know what? Just say a special prayer for Jesse Lingard that he makes the right decision with his career. Come on.
I mean, if he goes to West Ham, he can still make the World Cup team potentially. You know, if he has a couple months like he did a year and a half ago.
I'm just reading this 11 hours ago. Jesse Lingard, West Ham close in after further contract talks. So he might be going to West Ham. So maybe that happens. Neil, were there any questions on Twitter? I posted. But,
let me check.
Yeah. I'm bad at Twitter. I don't know how to compile shit.
Okay. Yeah, there's questions. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Nah, this is West Ham confident of signing Amadou Onana and Jesse Lingard in double deal. But that was 14 hours ago.
Okay, so the first question was from the UA podcast, folks. And they ask, if you could get rid of any rule, what would it be?
Get rid of what?
If you could get rid of any rule, what would it be? Any rule.
Just off top?
Yeah.
That rule that was in the game that involved Liverpool, where I think Liverpool scored, and it was an offside rule where two players have to be behind the goalkeeper.
That was the Real Madrid game in the final of the Champions League, no?
Yeah. Might have been.
Yeah.
Like that rule didn't make any sense to me. I'd get rid of that.
That's just the offside rule, though. That's not a variation on the offside rule. That's just the offside rule.
How long is the offside rule? Is that multiple paragraphs? Because that doesn't seem like the offside.
No, the thing is that the thing is that a typical offside always has the goalkeeper behind the ball. So you only always look for one player other than him. But the actual rule is for two players to be. So if the keeper goes forward by any reason, now you need to have two defenders there. So two defenders or two outfield players.
Well, that I feel like they should get rid of that part of the offside rule. But if they don't get rid of that, then I just hope that they enforce rules better. Mm-hmm. You know, like some of the rules are not being enforced right. So it's not like we need some rules changed. They just need them like enforced better. Like it's the way, you know, like perfectly, so that everybody will be happy. Anybody else have an answer to that? And thank you, Juve. I've been like DMing with them, so we might get them on the podcast.
I just hope that when they do the VAR, they do the MS Paint lines for the offside, that they actually account for a margin of error, because the tech is not perfect, and I feel like we're losing out on a lot of goals because they're trying to like simplify it to the point of precision when there is actually the tech doesn't allow for precision. So,
you know which rule I would like to change? That you cannot pass the goalkeeper at all, even with a header. That would change. You know, like
I think you can with the header, can't you?
No, that's what I'm saying. So to change it, that you cannot.
Oh, you don't even want a header.
So you will have the goalkeeper has to play with his feet like all the time, you know, whenever he's being passed to.
Oh yeah, you don't like that?
No, I mean I would like the goalkeeper to have to use the feet, because that would require more skill set from goalkeepers. But if you cannot pass the ball with your header to him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a skill to pass the ball to the keeper with your head. So then
he has to, that he cannot catch it, you know. That's how I would change it, you know, that he still has to use his feet too.
Goalkeeper should be able to use his hands, but all right, that's the one you want to change. It's fine.
No, because I remember some games like
I remember games with no hands.
I remember the games where, like in early 90s, late 80s, where the teams that were scoring a lucky goal and they were passing to the goalkeeper all the time. Remember those times? You know, that was pretty frustrating.
Yeah, they forced that rule change. Those teams. You got any rules you want changed, Lee?
I think there's one I want to change, but it's an existing rule, but I want to see it get tighter, which is financial fair play.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a rule, but it's a rule that no one really gives a shit about. No one actually enforces.
Of course, the poor teams.
But when a team is guilty of it, they always seem to get away with it. They don't seem to really get punished.
So only Chelsea was probably the only team that got punished ever, right?
What? And that wasn't even financial fair play. That was a weird war sanction. I think
no. Before, like 4 years ago, what was that? They were like they couldn't make transfers for.
That wasn't financial fair play. That was because they were signing teenagers.
Okay.
Illegally. But I think that there's clubs like PSG and Man City who are just they're being financially doped because they're owned by nation states who just artificially pump amounts in that they aren't really or shouldn't be able to do, but they've found ways to do it. So, but I think that rule should be tighter and there should be more stringency with it to keep things fair.
They need to invest in a good, like they're a big business, a huge business right now. UEFA, FA, all of these guys, and they don't have the legal arm behind them. So when they go into Man City takes them to the court, they're like it's a David versus Goliath battle suddenly. And they don't have the resources to go up against such giants. They need that's something they need to They really need to behave as the big boys.
Yes, it's tough because they're financially outmatched, and they're supposed to be the big boys. Like the FA is supposed to be the big boys, but they're being sunned by a nation state that has oil money for days. What else they got there? Yeah.
All right. Even Chavez comic asks, my dude, talk about Gareth Bale and LAFC.
I think in 2 weeks, me and Martin will go see Gareth Bale at LAFC. So we're going to hit up our guy there and then go there and check out the game. So we'll definitely talk about him when we go check that out. But also, I just saw some highlights of his first few touches.
The little flick he did around the corner. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. So that was pretty. When Gareth Bale wants to play, he'll play.
Yeah.
He can play football. He does have skills. He's gifted. It'd be, I hope he has a good run here with the LAFC. And this is the time frame of this league going into the World Cup is perfect for him.
Yeah, it's perfect because
especially considering he didn't play much for Real Madrid last season. It's not like he's come off a really long punishing season where he played every single week. Like he was playing here and there, but I mean he's in great condition, and he'll be going and he'll be giving his all to go into the World Cup in as good a form as possible. So I think LAFC will get the best out of Gareth Bale for those few months.
I agree, and that's his opus magnum to go to the World Cup. Like the guy accomplished everything. He was even the semifinals of Euros. He won everything in terms of league titles, Champions League titles. So he wants to live after a good performance in the World Cup, and I think he will definitely try very hard this season. Next season after the World Cup, maybe not so much, but this season for sure we'll see a good Gareth Bale.
For Gareth Bale, I feel like if Wales wasn't in the World Cup, he would have just retired after he left Barcelona.
No, he would probably come here for like a year just to enjoy LA.
You could tell by how he picked LAFC and to play where the season ends before the World Cup, so he can go right into the World Cup. He didn't go. He could have played anywhere in Europe, but he doesn't want to play after the World Cup. He only wants to play for the World Cup. So he's gonna retire. If he plays on, I'll be surprised. But he picked it in a way where he can retire at the World Cup or after the World Cup. The only reason why he's playing any more football is because of Wales and the World Cup.
Yeah, and he bailed on Miami. He bailed on your boy Phil Neville to go to LAFC. So, by the way, Miami. It's kind of interesting that the guys from Miami made public comments about them wanting Leo Messi to sign with them next season. Which is very, very rare for MLS executives to do that. And they did that. So it looks like something might be happening.
Something always seems like it's happening. And when it happens, I'll believe it. But I don't know. How's Miami doing now? Because you always
they're average. They're average.
Oh, so they're doing better. So when they do an average, you don't say nothing. But when they're doing shitty, that's
not me. That's Lee. I don't have anything against Phil Neville.
What? No, that's you, bro. You're always killing Miami.
No, I like Miami. They're nice people.
Yeah, wow.
I like Beckham.
No,
I like Beckham.
I think they're financial cheats. I love Beckham, but I think they're financial cheats, and Phil Neville is one of the most talentless people to ever set foot in a dugout.
Jesus. All right. Any more questions, Nick?
Well, speaking of old players winding down their career in a holiday, Cesc Fabregas joined team in the Italian second division
Como
for free transfer. Como. So
I think that's a lifestyle move.
Exactly.
He just wants to go and live next to Lake Como for a while. Which I've been there. It's lovely. I don't blame him.
Next to George Clooney.
I mean, there's no other reason for him to go. Like Fabregas can still cut it at the first division in Serie A if he wanted to. But he went to Monaco, and now he's in Lake Como.
He's living the life.
In that case, that Como team should have some of the best old names in football ever playing for them right now. Like everybody should just go over there and vacation, retire, play.
I wouldn't be surprised if he starts a trend. Like that could be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, quite a few players joined Monza, who just got promoted to Serie A. But Monza's not far from the lakes as well. It's just that it's between sort of Milan and Como.
But that's a different story because they got some like super rich owner, someone like right?
There was rumors Cavani was going to go there. I don't know if he has yet. I don't think he's picked a club yet.
Yeah. Ooh, any more questions, Neil?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Champagne Xavi asks, are Arsenal finally out of the banter era? Will we be taken seriously? I think a quick answer is no, but anybody?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand that. Can you say it again?
Are Arsenal finally out of the banter era? Are we going to be taken seriously?
First of all, no team is ever out of the banter era. Like that's impossible. Like Man City is the empty hat. It's like there's nothing you could do to escape banter. So Arsenal had a history of like being successful, so people hate you because you were successful, and they love that you're not as successful as you were. So you'll never escape it. But I do feel like you've made some strides in the last few years. Like Arteta seems, listen, you already won an FA Cup. I feel like he's getting these youths to play a good style of football. And you got the Gabriel Jesus buy. And who else did you buy?
Zinchenko's happening, it seems.
Who?
Zinchenko from Man City. That sounds like it's happening.
That's a good buy. That's a good buy. He's a good. He can play multiple positions, or he can be your left back when Tierney is out injured, and so that was always a problem. I guess they're not trusting Tavares right now. He's too young, so I feel bad for him because he's gonna have to take a step back, and and you got Gabriel Jesus. Who else did Arsenal?
Vieira. They got Vieira from Porto, who's a very good attacking midfielder.
Oh yeah, so yeah, man, I take him seriously. I'm not gonna relax when Man United has to play Arsenal. I'm gonna be like on on my toes, hoping we figure out a way how to beat them. So, yeah. And they gave Man City a run one game last season, except they got some dubious calls, and they ended up losing that game. But yeah.
By the way, you remember, Lee, the guy who was actually better than Zinchenko, Conor Gallagher, he signed with Polish team, which is very surprising. It was like the biggest transfer in Poland. You remember him, right? Very skilled player.
Not better than Zinchenko, though. Different type of player.
Yeah.
He's a winger, isn't he? So
yeah.
But no, that's interesting. Who do you go to?
Cracovia. Yeah.
I don't know who, because the Ukrainian guy, Yarmolenko, who was at West Ham, he left at the end of his contract. I don't know where he's gone yet.
Where did he go? Yeah, I knew he was leaving, but I was wondering where.
I'm not sure. Let me have a look.
I don't know if it was because of I feel like it's because of the war or something, Which is still going on, by the way.
Oh no, he went to the Middle East.
Oh yeah.
He's gone to play for Al Ain.
Okay.
Yeah, that's such a Yarmolenko move.
He could have gone to he was still playing at a good level, but yeah, he's gone to Abu Dhabi, so he obviously, another lifestyle move.
Try to get that Ronaldo money.
All right, what else is okay? So 850696868 asks.
That's somebody's.
Yeah. That's somebody's Twitter handle.
Is that a phone number?
It's a big fan. What should Ronaldo do? Where will United finish the season?
I mean, hopefully we'll finish in fourth. And listen, to be honest, and I think I said this last year, this Ronaldo thing is having him on your team is good and having him on your team is bad. It just is. Because he demands certain attention and certain things. Some of those things will help the team and some of those things will hurt the team. And if he's not going to be there for a long time, and other players have to take a back seat to someone who's not going to be there when they could be being developed, or we could just straight out go buy another forward, or he uses his position to take advantage of the coach, and the coach needs him and has to let it slide, and the other players see the coach letting it slide, and they're not going to want to take this serious coach, as serious as he should be taken and follow all the rules. So it's definitely like a balancing act on a high wire. It's not black and white. It's all gray with Ronaldo. So what was the question? Will we be better without him?
No, I think the question was, what should he do?
What should he do? I feel like long-term, short-term, he should stay to help Man United. Long-term, leave now so that Man United could figure out what we really need and get our shit together at a sooner long-term rate. That's what I feel.
I think if he doesn't have any attitude issues with the new manager, I think he should just stay in.
That's impossible.
Club that
it's impossible for Ronaldo not to have attitude issues.
But he, I know it gets spoken of a lot, that his attitude and stuff, but I haven't really seen him go to war against the manager and stop performing. Like a lot of players, they down tools and stuff. Ronaldo's never really been that guy.
You know how, and I read this, I forgot who wrote this article, but during training with, what was our last coach? Rangnick. Yeah, he'd be like,
that's how non-memorable he was.
Yeah. Now, I like Rangnick. I just can't remember anything, period. But he was like, I don't want to do those drills. I know those drills.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I have no proof he said that, but it feels like all the inside stuff that was coming out of the dressing room, it feels like somebody with enough authority, a player with enough authority said that for the training to collapse and not show up on the field. And I feel like if somebody said he said that, he might have said that shit. And that's why we started playing good under Ragnick and then started playing bad. And there were complaints, but there were no specific names that people did not like the training. And then somebody in an article specifically said Ronaldo said that. So it's like, and then I've seen him have attitude with Solskjaer, somebody he liked, like coaching from the sidelines. Like, you know, you're a player, you ain't supposed to do that. Like the way he left Juventus at the end of the season and the way he's trying to tell us now at the end of the season, he wants to get out. Like when he knew he was going to be in Europa League, and to do that like some last minute shit after you had a phone call with Ten Hag and you said you're going to stay. It's like, I just don't need uncertainty around the team. So for the long haul, I think he should leave. And I appreciate everything Ronaldo's done. But yeah, if he's not going to have an attitude, stay. But there's no reason he ain't going to have an attitude. No way.
He's a distraction at this point, isn't he?
He's both. He's good. He's a focus and a distraction.
Mm.
It's never black and white with him. He's polarized. He's turned into I feel like even when Bale went to Real Madrid, because I used to watch all their games, and Bale started showing how good he was. Like it seemed that Bale had to kind of like subdue, like Bale in his prime at Real Madrid had to like subdue his skills to kind of fit under the and same thing with Benzema. You've seen how good Benzema is now, but it's like, I think everybody kind of acquiesced so that we could get the best, they could get the best out of Ronaldo and it work out for everybody. He has to be the dominant focal point.
But also, like, United also need him as badly now, right? Like, who is your main striker otherwise?
Well, here's the thing. We came second the season without him. And I know that was a weird season, but we still had more points without Ronaldo the season before than the 58 we had this season. I think we had
I know you can't fully rely on them, but both Rashford and Martial have looked better since Ten Hag has come in. So he could breathe new life into those guys.
All right.
Rashford completely took a step back last season. Completely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those two guys were looking forward to having a good season. And right before the season started, we brought in Ronaldo and they knew they were going to take a hit. And I feel like I said, Ronaldo's good and bad, and it caused him coming there, like when they thought, all right, we came second and now we're a team and we're going to challenge for the title. And then they bring in Ronaldo and it's like everybody who was sure of their position is unsure of it. And then that causes a lot of disharmony. And plus the club wasn't being run right, period. So it's like, it just a domino effect.
But at least like it looks like he has a better coach to work with now. So just in terms of quality of coaching and management and tactics, Ronaldo's probably playing in a better team now than he was last season. So that should, if anything, increase his output. If only you can keep the distractions aside. If he's okay with not starting every game and still fit in and do what the manager wants him to do.
I mean, he's not going to be okay with not starting every game because he's in a competition with a guy he's never played on the same team with. He's in a competition with Messi and everybody else that's a Ballon d'Or candidate. So
but he's also 38. He should know those days have gone. You can't be in that competition even when you're 40, 41, 42.
I don't think he's that reasonable. Yeah.
Well, I mean, his other options are essentially going to places that are absolutely not in the contention to get you anywhere, like Saudi Arabia, the MLS. So that's his next move anyway. So
MLS, definitely 100% MLS. Yeah.
I think he should go back to Sporting, go full circle.
Sporting, yeah, maybe. they can't afford his salary.
No, I mean, they'll take him even at 50, so you don't need to rush to get to do that.
Yeah, but talking about your point, Neil, you know, it's like about being reasonable. I don't remember one single extraordinary athlete that was reasonable towards the end of the career. You know, like look at Muhammad Ali, look at some basketball players, Michael Jordan when he came back. I mean, he was still very good, but not that great. You know, Shaquille O'Neal, you know, last season. You know, some other like Brett Favre, whatever. You know, like the great players. They feel they're great.
Yeah, but
just the body betraying them. You know.
But if anything, he should look at those examples and see that, you know, not being reasonable necessarily doesn't help. So
but their ego, they have such
a big
ego.
If you are concerned about your legacy.
Yeah, but they have such a big ego that works for them, but it just stopped, you know, until the moment where it doesn't, you know, and it always ends that way, always. You know, even Kobe, rest in peace, you know, in his last season with the Lakers, last 2 seasons, he was a shadow of himself. You know, it's just, you can't cheat a certain code. I think LeBron James will play until he sucks, you know, like it will be the same thing, you know.
How old is Kobe when he quit?
Who?
How old was Kobe when he quit again?
38, I think.
I think he feels 36. Let me see.
37, 38, yeah.
It's because we're talking about peak fitness, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to use that to measure how long Lewandowski has.
Lewandowski has.
I think it differs from person to person as well. Because even if they stay in tip-top shape, if they have an injury or something, that could affect it. It depends on what training the club are doing with them as well, what system of play they're playing in. All of that has an effect on what they can do and for how long they can do it.
3-4 more years, I would say Lewandowski has at the world-class level, and then maybe 2 more years if he wants to come to United States. So I think he will play like 3-4 years for Barcelona and then 2 more in MLS, and that's it.
I don't think he'll do 3 or 4 at Barcelona. I think 2 max.
No. He'll play until 3 years because that's his contract. He'll play 3 years, then maybe 1 more year, and then he'll come to the MLS. That's what I know from people around him, that he wants to finish in the MLS. Most likely LAFC. That's what it looks like.
The thing is, you can't come to the MLS when you're pushing 40 now. Like you need to.
Still.
The MLS is a very athletic and quick league now. It's not somewhere you can come at that age and stroll it anymore. It's like a few years ago, maybe it was. It's not anymore. Like I think, yeah. I don't think he'll do more than 2 seasons at Barca. I can't see it just because of how volatile the club is in terms of transfer turnover. And with players of his age, I don't think. Yeah, I think he'll do 2 seasons max.
I see. Possibly 3+1. That's my estimate. 3+1, and then MLS. And I count on him being in tip-top shape because he always did, and I count on it, you know, because he almost out Ronaldo in that way, you know. So I would say they're either the same level, or Lewandowski even tiny bit better.
We'll see. Are there any more questions, or that's it?
I think that was the last of the questions. Well, Maruko asks, how many soccer players go on to have acting careers? Which I think we have a few examples. Frank LeBeouf.
Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
Eric Cantona.
Yeah.
Francesco Cocco was an Italian player who tried to.
There's a player somebody was talking about the other day on an interview. That's an actor, I think, in Italy. Like, yeah. It's Carew. John Carew is an actor like in Sweden or something like that. So there's always gonna, you know, there's
Neymar was in what was it, Game of Thrones?
Beckham was in Game of Thrones.
Neymar's an actor on the pitch.
Yeah.
No, but he was an actor. He played like a
Neymar.
Neymar was in Game of Thrones.
Gabriel Jesus and Richarlison are big time actors.
Yeah. Well, we have examples of, like, you know, we have some soccer journalists who go on to have acting careers.
Yeah,
Martin Harris.
Neymar was in Game of Thrones.
Martin didn't even hear. He's talking.
Martin, I was saying that there are some soccer journalists who go on to have acting careers.
Yeah, that is correct. But Neymar, season 7, episode 2, he had a speaking part. Neymar, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Boom. Here you go.
Yeah.
And Martin still didn't hear you, so.
I've heard you.
Yeah.
I was just checking on Neymar because I wanted to make sure that I have correct.
No, Neymar, I think, was in Money Heist, not in Game of Thrones, but I think it's
in Money Heist too, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Neymar was in Game of Thrones. I would have noticed that.
I think it was Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers was in Game of Thrones, the football player. That's for sure.
Okay. I think I did hear that. Yeah. I think Beckham was in something else, but it was like another like medieval thing with swords, kind of like Game of Thrones. So maybe that's where I got that from. Lee, do you know what it is he was in?
No idea.
Yeah. Something with dragons. He was in something with dragons. All right, guys. So that's the first podcast for the 22-23 season. We got how many more weeks? 3 weeks before the season starts?
I think it's just 2 from this weekend. Yeah, this weekend, next weekend, and then it starts the weekend after, I think.
All right, yeah. And we're going to be like...
I'm going to... I'm at Watford, Southampton this Saturday, so I can...
Preseason?
Let you know how we look there. Yeah.
All right, cool. So you should be able to beat a relegated championship team. But there's no pressure. You guys are just trying to work out your system. Is your system changed, or is it the same thing?
We played wingbacks the 2 games in Austria, but I don't know if we'll keep it. So I'll see Saturday whether we're still messing around with that or not.
And you didn't do that. You didn't play 3 at the back all season, right?
We did it occasionally last year, but 4-4-2-2-2 was the main system.
Oh, okay. The Ragnick system.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right. Neil, I'm glad you had a good time checking out Chelsea. It seemed like a lot of fun. So that was dope. Thanks for coming through, letting us know what the deal is with that. Lee, how's the weather in England?
Too hot. It's still crazy. We hit like 100 degrees today your temperature. Everything went in, like the airports had to shut because runways were melting. Trains got cancelled. So yeah, I had a show cancelled, which sucked. So yeah,
because of heat.
I've heard Boris Johnson couldn't take the heat anymore. Is it true?
He's never been able to take the heat. But yeah, it's not been great. It's due to happen tomorrow as well. So I've just been staying inside. So that's been fun.
Man. And Martin, I don't know where you're at. I don't know if you're doing this podcast from a jail cell phone, but I appreciate the fact that you came through, posted your photo, and spoke with your voice. We'll see what's up with Spurs. I'll let you know if I see any more Spurs game on CBS. And, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. And we're going to do some things and have some interviews for this whole season coming up leading into the World Cup too. So it should be a pretty dope end of the year football things going on. All right. And thanks to our producer, Aaron Brungardt, for putting this all together. And we out. 1.